What's going on, Warpath family? We're back with another video. Today's video we're going to call Whales Gone Wild. This is in my server 13, and it is about 75 days old. And man, look at those marches beside me. Isn't that insane? 4 million plus power marches and multiples of them. Let me tell you what, lots of damage being done. If you guys are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, as we're going to go over some of this crazy war footage. Stay tuned, guys. All right, guys. First up in this video of Whales Gone Wild. You like that? You like that saying? That's pretty funny, isn't it? Whales Gone Wild. Yeah. Anyway, I figured I'd come up with something snappy. In this footage, we have a player inside of my alliance. It's like 10 million power, which isn't necessarily bad or anything, but he's not like a super whale. But anyway, just to give you some relevance, most of the players are like between 10 and I don't know, 18 to 20-ish range. That's kind of where most players are. This player right here is way higher than that. And so, yes, he is definitely a whale, and he's going to attack this base. Now, I know that according to the new update, they supposedly supposed to change some things. It's not supposed to be as easy to zero a base and blah, 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 blah. But I figured I'd give you guys some of this footage because it's funny. This right here, and let's go ahead and play it. You can see he has a 4 million march, a 3 million march, and look at this, rocket launchers at a 4 million power march. And I say that because that is crazy, guys. I mean, think about it. I know from other servers or whatever, if you want to get over, you know, 3.5 million, if you want to get 4 million per march, you're going to need a maxed out unit 7.2. You're going to need gold plus parts. You're going to need all modifications. You're going to need you're going to need a maxed out barracks at 32. You're going to have to put as much stuff as you can into it to get it 4 million on a complete march. And I say a march or whatever, but you know what I mean, just the units on the field. But this guy has 2 of them, so now he has rockets at 4 million on top of another 4 million. And server 13 ain't, I mean, guys, we're barely in the city level 3s. And this guy's got another 3, and it even gets more interesting than this, because watch how easily this base goes down. So as soon as he gets his rockets involved, watch this. Brow, I mean, just takes it down. Now, of course, artillery would probably be even worse at 4 million, but yeah, that's how it is. Now, this guy's base is completely obliterated. Now, look at this right here. So that march was at 4 million. It's at 3.6. He barely went down, hardly any, off of some mediums. Not even a super heavy or anything like that. Just some mediums. So this guy had mediums, lights, and rocket launchers, which rocket launchers, as far as power goes on a structure, is not the most intense because obviously artillery. But it is good to roll around on the field because they are mighty, mighty fast. So it does help them in the mobility of things. So that is super crazy. Let's go ahead and pull out the second clip. Oh man, this is funny. All right. And this one right here, we got another guy. And I mean, here he is with his lights, with his medium, and his rocket launcher. So look at this. And a couple of them got because it's a little bit under 4 million now. But watch as he takes this down. I mean, look at that. Look at that office power. Like literally both of these bases, and these guys are not exactly, I mean, these guys aren't like, you know, 1 million power or 2 million power. I mean, these guys are fighters or whatever, and literally these bases are going down. I mean, he blew up my base in like less than 20 seconds. Like, it was super fast. It's crazy. But anyway, that's some of the things that are happening with Wales with these mega marches. And so let's go ahead and let's look at some of his units right now. Let me get this out. So these are the units that he was fighting with right here. You see the 4 million, another 4.1 million, and then he had his lights. Now these lights went down just slightly-ish. I think it was 3.5, but it could be 3.4. But anyway, these are the 3 main ones that he was using. And then let's see the total. So this guy in total has a 4 million, a 3 million, a 3 million, a 3 million March, and another 3 million March. And this one, he actually got even higher. So you can see it's 3.6. He actually dumped a little bit more into it to get it up to 4 million as he was fighting. So he had 4 million, a 4 million, a 3, and a 3. These are completely all maxed out. That's 5 Marches, 7.2s, almost maxed out on the power grade on some of them. Like there's a couple 11s, but I mean, just insane amounts of power inside of spending inside of this game. And most players aren't even to that point yet. So let me give you guys a comparison here. Let's pull this up. So you guys can see right here. So server 13 all the way to the side right here. It'll show you kind of in relativity. So server 2, the next one over, is my original server. Server 1, which is the original beta server, and then server 3 outside of server 2, so that you guys can kind of see all the power that's going on right there. And server 13 is not but, 3 months-ish, almost 4, probably 4 months or so. Nah, more like 3. Anyway, I'd have to go check it out. But, server 1's been around a year. Server 2, just slightly after that, probably, close to 8, 9 months ago or so. I think that was at November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. So almost 8 months. Yeah. So that's just crazy. But you can see, according to the power here, server 2 is definitely pretty much a powerhouse. I mean, look at that, 280 million power, guys. But the next one down goes down into the 40s. And then it stays pretty consistent down there. You go to server 1 and you have in the 60s, but you have a lot more of them. You have a lot more level playing field with like 60s, 50s, 40s. There's like a crap ton of them because most players have built up the long way and they're all kind of evening out. You have server 3, and I don't know if they might have been fighting. So like the screenshot could not be totally accurate because they might have been fighting or moving or adjusting troops. But as you can see, close to the 60s there, you have 57, 57, 55, 51, and then it goes down into the 40s. And then you have my server, right, which is server 13, and you got a 68 million power player and a 52. That's the guy that you just saw, the Sir 666 guy. And then you got a 47, 45, 42, 37, 35. I mean, it's insane. Most of these guys, I remember when I started in server 13 and I was, investing and I was building myself up or whatever. Most of these guys were maybe like a million or 2, or maybe even like 4 million power more than me or whatever. And now they're like 40, 50 million power in less than like a month and a half. Like they literally gained 30 to 40 million power. Well, 20 to 30 million power. I mean, it's just crazy that the way the game has went with paying and pushing that up or whatever. And so I bring that up, guys, because we talked about some of the different updates, and let's go ahead and look at some of this. So in these notes right here, it said, why was the barracks capacity increased? It said, previously in the game, repetitive operations would be manipulated to drag units back and forth, maintain unit HP without suffering any damage. These operations were cumbersome and resulted in unfair advantage and great damage being dealt to newer commanders. Oftentimes, a seesaw battle, which lasts for hours, would result in commanders losing interest, feeling fatigued by such an experience. Increasing PvP damage not only quickens the pace of action on the battlefield, but enables more rapid determination of the outcome of battles. This is why we chose to increase the barracks capacity. We'll also be sending out regular reserve items and resources over the coming period. So they talked about like how they changed up the parameters of the PvP because they didn't want people running around and being able to solo bases with just 1 unit or 2 units or whatever. But as you can see, guys, when it's a whale, when it's a 4 million March against just normal growth of a server at the time that a server is going, I mean, these guys just run through people and it's insane. So anyway, guys, leave a comment down below what you guys think. Hope you guys enjoyed the video or some of the footage of us getting smoked. And yeah, until next time, guys, peace.